How's it going, guys? What you're going to see today is a breakdown of the M249 LMG from the support class or support kit in Battlefield 4. And that's right, I actually finished the campaign. I went so long without actually completing it, but now it's done. I have all those guns. I'm going to be trying them out, and I'll review ones as I go and if I like them or not. First up here is obviously the M249. I wouldn't call it my favorite because the MG4 is currently my favorite. Just that's an absolute monster of a gun. But this LMG here, the M249, is absolutely no slouch, and I'll go into the Synthic stats, breaking it down, tell you what I use for it, and everything I use for maximum success. The pros about this one, obviously, is it's on par damage-wise with most of the other LMGs. The Passion Egg and a couple of others, I think, output more damage per round. But the M249 starts at 25 damage, its minimum damage is 18. Starting drop-off damage starts at 8 meters, and the drop-off ends at 65. So at 65 plus meters, you're still going to be outputting 18 damage per round, which is nice. At least it's on par with a lot of the other ones. The fire rate on this thing is incredible. 800 rounds per minute on a gun or an LMG that basically has incredible damage. And get this, a magazine size of 200, so you don't have to reload you don't have to reload much with this. You have an incredible fire rate, and you can output suppression like there's no tomorrow with this thing. It's a monster in that terms. The cons to it, though, despite the fact that I know all the LMGs have a long reload time, so it's not like I'm nitpicking specifically with this particular gun. But the 6.2 seconds it takes whether you have a round or not in the chamber is going to be very long, so you better make use of those 200 round size magazines and make sure you're behind cover when you're going to reload, because it's going to take you longer than 6 seconds to actually, reload this thing. With regard to actual shot patterns, you can completely counter all recoil at all if you tap fire for just about any weapon in the game other than the bolt actions, as you might expect. So if you're tap firing or burst firing, you don't have to worry about recoil at all. So if you're getting where I'm going with this, tap fire or burst fire in all situations, and you won't have to worry about attachments or anything, and you still be a monster. But if you were going to worry about recoil, that is, it does have, as you might expect, a straight up vertical recoil pattern, but it also deviates to the left quite a bit. So that's a bit of an issue. So to counter it, as you might expect, you have to pull down and slightly to the right on your mouse if you want to actually keep this thing a laser beam in full auto. But it has quite a large spread with it as well, especially if you're moving. So if you're going to shoot this gun, I basically say stay completely still and tap fire just like any other gun, and you'll have great success with it. The loadout I typically use with it, basically as you see here, I use the red dot sight or the hollow sight. I'm using the hollow sight in the video here in the back because at the time I didn't have the red dot. Hollow sight works quite well as well. I also use the infrared sights and LMGs. I find a lot because in maps where there's a lot of darkness or foliage, or you're looking into particular sections where your vision's obstructed, having an optic sight that actually gives you infrared sights is really helpful. So bear that in mind as well in the troublesome maps. I also use the laser sight for hip fire encounters, and the only time I ever fire this thing full auto is when I'm in quick surprise hip fire encounters. And having that laser sight that you can turn off and on depending on close quarters engagements helps you an awful lot. The thing is, I don't even attach anything to this. You can attach a flash hider, because that way it would have absolutely no ill effects to muzzle velocity or anything. But if you're going to be going for flanks a lot, you can equip a suppressor. It'll keep you off the minimap, give you a surprise. But the flash hider and the suppressor are the only two I would equip, if anything. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.